Okay, I'll admit it, I haven't heard of this guy up until yesterday, and I don't know how. It's Miley Cyrus's brother, Billy Ray Cyrus's son, okay? And not only all that, he's a big famous emo guy in an emo band called Metro Station that used to be pretty popular about 10 years ago. Now, the whole black hair swoopy emo thing isn't really my kind of emo. I swing towards the more like nerdy kind of Midwest emo type stuff. So maybe that's why I don't know who this guy is. But guess what? He is a Ronnie Radke level enemy after what I saw yesterday. Now, all thanks to Johnny Gilbert, okay? I gotta give the big shout out to Johnny Gilbert's video on this guy. Now, when I say black hair, swoopy emo isn't my thing, that excludes Johnny Gilbert. He is an exception to the rule. He is a sweetheart that does excellent work and is very talented, okay? And he did a wonderful video on this Trace Cyrus character, okay? So what are we going to talk about? We'll get into that in a little bit. First, I'm going to introduce myself. My name is Dan Frampton. Welcome to the Dan Frampton YouTube channel. If you have a little bit of time, how's about you throw a little like and subscribe to the channel. If you are a member to the channel, I want to thank you very much. You are a part of the secret society and are on this graphic right here. If you want to be a part of the secretest society on the internet, then you're just going to go down there, hit that join button, and then you'll be on one of these graphics. Okay, let's hit you with that video. So like I mentioned, this Trace Cyrus guy was in an emo band called Metro Station, all right? And they put out this like song called 17 Forever, maybe 14 or 15 years ago at this point. And 17 Forever, what could that possibly mean? Well, let's hear it from the horse's mouth.
It's not really about wanting to stay 17. It has a kind of a hidden meaning. It's about like forbidden love and
Oh, a hidden meaning. Oh, forbidden love, you say? Well, that sounds a little bit creepy. What do you mean? Can you elaborate?
trying to be with a girl who's under the age of 18, basically, and you know, due to the public eye, you know, people don't want you guys to be together. So
oh, cool. A little bop about wanting to be with a kid. All right, true. All right, awesome. Okay, so this is the guy we're talking about, but this isn't the take that we're going to be talking about. Now, normally, I could probably make an entire video on this video, going being like, I haven't known about this guy ever, and he's Miley Cyrus's brother, but he used to want to be with a child. And then I would probably go into the lyrics and then other behaviors of the guy, but that is not the video. He has a modern day take that I am here to make fun of. Now, in Johnny Gilbert's video, he was very polite. He was very cordial. He laid out his opinion, he laid out Trace's opinion, and just like drew a line in the sand and was like, this is what you believe, this is what I believe, and it's okay to have different opinions. Now, I'm a businessman. I gotta create diversity in the marketplace. Now, Johnny didn't take shots. Johnny didn't call names. What does that mean? That means I gotta take shots and I gotta call names. So that's what this video is. I'm gonna be making fun of a loser, okay? Now don't get it twisted. All these people are getting it twisted. When I'm out here making fun of losers, calling out dweebs, you know, criticizing behavior or whatever, I'm not canceling anybody. I'm not trying to take anybody's bread away. I'm not trying to take any money from anybody's account. All I'm doing is making fun of a thing, okay? Now you can go out there, you can do whatever you want. I can go out there, I can do whatever I want. As long as I'm not hurting anybody, you know, that's all great. And if I want to make fun of you, well, I have a platform to do that. And today, I'm going to be making fun of this guy because he's out here saying some ridiculous stuff, okay? Now, I gotta go over here to the platform known as Twitter, and I'm gonna be talking about OF, okay? Now, everybody knows what I mean when I say OF. That rap group from like 15 years ago called Odd Future, all right? So every time that I say OF, it actually means odd future, right? Okay, I'm glad we got all that out of the way. Now, I'm gonna read this little statement that Trace Cyrus made that actually ended up going kind of viral, kind of making some waves, and made some people mad. Now, I just gotta preface all of this by saying I'm not reacting to this in an angry way. I am not mad. I am laughing at this man for thinking this way and laughing at the hypocrisy that is just layered all over this. This is just like projection, okay? This just reads like a guy who was once a porn addict that now just wants to like shame it completely to be like, I am not the guy that I once was. But you know, behind closed doors, this guy's a freak, all right? This guy is a freak in nature. You can just tell. There are so many girls that do Odd Future that have lost their chance of ever settling down with a good guy with morals. What? Just because they do this kind of content, they no longer deserve and no longer will find happiness in this world? Is that what you're saying? That's a crazy take. And I've only read one sentence. This thing is a whole book. They will try to call those men insecure for having standards. They get a lot of attention from guys on Odd Future, so they think they have opinions. But any guy who is so desperate to see sexual content they are willing to pay for it is a desperate loser. Okay, all right, so I'm allowed to call you names because you're out here calling names, okay? You're saying the people out there doing sex work, not real people, don't deserve happiness, and then the people paying for that sex work are losers and they don't deserve happiness. And what if that like Venn diagram was to just like overlap a little bit? Would that just like make your brain explode? I don't know, dude. A lot of successful guys will sleep with those girls but don't want to wife them. A lot of dudes will do that anyway. It doesn't matter if they do Odd Future content or not. You know what I mean? Why do you gotta boil it down to that? And the same works in flip. The same works in reverse. You know what I mean? And it doesn't necessarily always relate to heterosexual kind of people, all right? There are other kinds of people that do this kind of content. There are other kinds of genders out there that do this kind of content that don't even fall into any of the thing that you're just casting this huge net over, you dumb idiot. I see a lot of girls speaking out on this, saying that they can get a serious relationship, but it's because men see value in those girls strictly for they don't look at those women and equate their values as a future wife, mother, or loyal partner. I know some amazing girls with some genuine good people that do Odd Future. I just think this independent mindset of not needing a man is extremely toxic and leads to a very lonely future. I hope more girls continue to speak up about this so other girls know the risk of getting into it. Having a good man and a family will bring you more happiness in old age than Odd Future ever could. Oh my God. Sounded like an evangelical Christian out here, all right? Now you'll be surprised that this guy doesn't actually look like an evangelical Christian. He looks like this over here as it loads. Oh my God, here he is, all covered in tattoos. This is going to be his response to the backlash that he got from this, because you know the internet went absolutely crazy over this. And you can tell the kinds of people that are going to be supporting this. You'll find those kinds of people down there in my comment section, surely being like, this guy's speaking facts, bro. This guy's out here not afraid to say the truth. Those girls are that will never ever find love, and they should never find love because they used their boobies one time to make some money. You know what I say? If you got it, flaunt it, all right? And if you're gonna make a couple dollars doing it, hell, you go for it. You cash in while you can, you know what I mean? Maybe you're gonna be 100 years old one day, perhaps, you know what I mean? And to look back on that might be like a thing of pride. To be like, you know what? I was beautiful. Look at me killing it back in my 20s and 30s, just killing the house, rocking it, making tons of money, using my assets. You know what I mean? Maybe it's a point of pride and joy for some people. I'm not exactly 100% sure on that because I'm not one of these kinds of people, but I am out here to defend these kinds of people for wanting to be this kind of person and to have the same rights and liberties as anybody else, all right? Yes, they deserve to be seen as people. Yes, they deserve to have happy lives. If they want a husband, they can have a husband. If they want kids, surely they can do that, you know what I mean? Sure, that might be a difficult thing to navigate as a family with a kid in school with this kind of content on the internet, but if you're mature and have these kinds of conversations, then I'm sure everything can be all right. It might be a little awkward at school for some people, but these Odd Future actresses or whatever, they're not necessarily the famous ones. That's why like the Adam 22 story has that argument a part of it, and most people that just started Odd Future accounts in the pandemic, doesn't really matter, you know what I mean? Not everybody knows about it, not everybody is talking about that sort of thing, and the people that do it can like region lock where they're from. Like, okay, people from my state aren't gonna see my ass. People from where my family live aren't going to see my buttocks. You know what I mean? They have that kind of power and control over that sort of stuff. And if people want to pay money for a thing, pay money for a service, that's just supply and demand. I'm out here defending capitalism right now on a punk rock channel. All right? If these ladies, if these guys, if these couples want to go out here and like make that kind of content and make it available for other kinds of people, they should have the right to be able to do that kind of thing. Now, is that going to be the kind of lifestyle that I personally want to lead? Probably not. No, that probably makes me a whole bunch of uncomfortable if I were to find myself in those situations. You know what I mean? But that doesn't mean I'm gonna like completely tear down the people that want to do that, you know? And then you think after all the backlash, he might sit and reflect. He might look at some of his posts that he puts on his Instagram with like women on top of him, scantily clad, using sex to sell his music. But for some reason, that is so much different than putting it behind a paywall. You're still using sexuality. Look at you out here trying to look as hot as possible without your shirt on. Hey man, I'm ripped. I got all my tattoos. I got my sweet sunglasses, making sure my hair looks nice underneath my snapback. You know what I mean? You're trying to make people out here want to you, while on the same token being like, people that take their shirt off on the internet are. I don't know how you could possibly think that this is the appropriate attire for this kind of conversation, and how you think it doesn't make you look like a super hypocrite. All right, so let's just jump in to what this idiot has to say.
All right, so I basically broke the internet by saying the most logical statement ever.
Okay, I'm gonna be reacting to this as it goes on. All right, he broke the internet. First off, that is the worst saying in the world. That saying should have died in like 2017 when it first came out. You know what I mean? Broke the internet. No one broke the internet. You didn't break anything, you stupid idiot. You got a couple impressions on a tweet. That's not breaking the internet. And this is Twitter, all right? People are gonna like sound off their takes on Twitter. You didn't break the internet. You didn't send ripples across the universe, all right? You had a bad take and people are goofing on you. The ego on this guy to come out and be like, yeah, so like I just like broke the internet for speaking logic, dude. Like I'm just out here using my noggin, using my noodle, and people are out here going crazy because I'm breaking the internet. You're not breaking shit, buddy.
I have TMZ, E-News, all these blog sites, over 10 million views on my Twitter post, which I really don't even use Twitter anymore.
He's just like trying to flex. How are you starting this like this? This is like the equivalent of walking into a place and being like, give me better service, do you know who I am? That's that kind of attitude. What are you doing? You're such a loser.
I didn't post this to cause people to freak out or anything. I thought what I said was pretty much common sense and everyone knew this.
Everyone knew this. Of course, yeah, the people that are in this kind of community, people that do this, they know that. You know, they know that they don't deserve love. They know that they're less than human. Of course, no one's going to take offense to this. You stupid loser. What makes you think that this is like a logical thing? You use that word, logic. What makes you think that any of this equates?
I said, no good-hearted man with morals wants to wife a girl who's posting her naked body online for the entire world.
When you're out here trying to have a debate with somebody, you don't say f***ing this and f***ing that and wife this and throwing out slang like that. You're not winning an argument like this. You're just making yourself look like a pompous douchebag. And yeah, I said I'm not here to have a debate with you. I'm not here to cancel you. I'm here to make fun of you. I'm here to point out how much of a loser you are and how stupid you look.
To see doing sexual acts on the internet, like, it's vile, it's gross, it's disgusting.
That's okay to have that opinion. If you think it's vile, gross, and disgusting, that's cool, you know what I mean? But because you think it's vile, gross, and disgusting means that these people don't deserve happiness, don't deserve to be wifed, as you say, is just stupid as hell. One does not equal the other, all right? Now, what I think that you're doing right now is vile, disgusting, and absolutely abhorrent, all right? Coming on to the internet without your goddamn shirt on, both nipples pierced, and like trying to defend a bad take. I think that's disgusting. I would never do that. I would absolutely never do that. No matter how sick my tattoos were, no matter how goddamn ripped I was, I would never sit on a balcony like this defending a ass take that I've had.
Like, how is this controversial in any way? At no other time in human history would what I said
No other time in human history, he says. How is this an argument? Have you been around for all of human history? Have you made this take in like the year 1820 and then come back and make this take in the year 1920 and now in the year 2023? You know what I mean? How are you saying there's never been a time in all of human history where what I'm saying would... No, if you go back in human history, if you said OF to somebody, they wouldn't know what the you're talking about.
Would anyone be offended by it? Nobody would give a like, up until 3 years ago, until the pandemic.
People blaming the pandemic for everything. It's so funny, dude. It's absolutely hilarious. It's just like this guy is just coping so hard because he said something on the internet and is getting a little bit of pushback. And he's trying to seem so chill and cool and sexy, but he's mauled. He's coping. He's absolutely seething and in the process completely embarrassing himself and tarnishing whatever reputation he had going for him.
Resorted to doing OnlyFans as a career. Nobody would have cared that I said this at all.
Resorted to? You know what? People like lost their jobs, brother. You know what I mean? There was not everybody is affluent as you dumb piece of shit. Some people had no option back then. Everything, I don't know if you remember, was shut down. Nobody was allowed to go anywhere. People still had to pay for rent and food and, you know, like the life necessities. And you're out here being like, nuh-uh, you shouldn't have done that. You showed a nipple. Oh, no way. Your husband should leave you, all right? You don't deserve kids or happiness because someone knows what your sphincter looks like.
I stand by everything I said. I don't care.
And I stand by everything I said. You're dumb as brother. So Johnny Gilbert, I commend you for being so nice to this guy. I know you enjoyed that song back in the day and you enjoyed his band and you've known this guy, you met him maybe a little bit and you don't want to be absolutely mean to him. But this guy doesn't deserve anybody being nice to him right now, okay? Maybe the only way for this guy to change his ways and to maybe make a different statement on the internet is to shame him, embarrass him, and call him out for what he is, and that is a big, dumb idiot. Oh, I know. I went so hard. Big, dumb idiot. That is the harshest language in the world. Nobody's trying to cancel you, Trace. I hope that you're still in your band and you're out there talking about pedophilia and celebrating having sex with children or whatever it is you do. You and Dobby Vanity keep going out there and killing it, brother. Absolutely loving to see it. Now I'm gonna give a bold prediction. In the next, I don't know, between 6 months to a year and a half, there's gonna be another story involving this guy, but it's gonna be more criminal in nature. Okay, with that being said, I'm gonna get out of here, but before I do, huge thanks to all these members. If you want to become a member on the Secret Society list, hit that join button. All right, watch these other videos. See you later.